Anthony, I'm going to do the Public Works report tonight.
Copy that. Okay, let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Are we standing?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call to the community. There are no community members present. Business approval of minutes. Presenter Tricia Kramer, Director of Community and Recreation Services.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission. The minutes from the September meeting are in your packet. I would just say that if anyone has any questions for the chairman about them, they would move forward that way and hopefully vote to approve.
A very small edit on page 3 and the top paragraph, second paragraph of the top section. I think I said, I stated that egress is on their property and we should not get caught up in the parking agreement rather than they should not get caught up in the parking agreement. To meet them.
I think you're correct.
So, small edit. If everyone else is okay, I'd like to motion to approve the minutes from last meeting with the amendment of that I stated we should not get caught up in the parking agreement instead of they should not get caught up in the parking agreement.
I'll second.
Are there any other questions about the minutes from last month? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Agenda from last month approved. Minutes from last meeting. Yard of the quarter, third quarter. Presenter Anthony Taddy, chairperson. Discussion and possible action to award 580 Cercado Lane, yard of the quarter for the third quarter of 2002. The score sheets are in your packet, page 8.
Looking for a motion?
If you guys are ready to make a motion, we're looking for a motion.
I'll motion that we award yard of the quarter to 580 Chicago Lane.
I will second.
Are there any other questions about yard of the quarter? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we will be awarding yard of the quarter to 580 Cercado Lane. Congratulations. Public Works monthly report. Presenter Sonny.
I'm gonna stand in. You may notice that the report comes from Kyle Ames and it says Interim Director of Public Works. Richard put in his notice and he no longer works for the city of Litchfield Park. And so Kyle is now the interim director and doing a real good job. They have not hired anyone to be second in command right now. So I think they're just gonna see how things go. But yeah, we'll miss Richard. But Kyle's doing a great job. So, but you have the report in, and he can't be here tonight. You have your report. Mostly it has maintenance, and then it gives you the progress on, if you look at the WCA, there are tree trimmers. He has some pictures that show damage that was done during the high winds that we had. And believe the two on the left are from the library lawn. Actually, 3 are from the library lawn, and 1 is from Stagg's Park along the pathway there. I first thought it was, because I saw that backstop, I thought it might have been over by Jackie Robinson Field, but Kyle said, no, it's Stagg's Park. So really, that's the extent of the damage that we received. And I don't know about residents, people in their own residences that are receiving damage, but those were pretty high winds. And then he also mentions the overseeding, and that's going well. Only one he doesn't mention is Scout Park, and that's scheduled for October 24th. That's all he wanted me to report on. Any questions or what I can pass on?
Certainly would want to wish Richard the best.
Yep.
Sorry to lose him. Congratulations to Kyle. Glad we have Kyle. Community and Recreation Services Monthly Report. Presenter Tricia Kramer, Director of Community and Recreation Services.
Thank you, Chairman Taddy and Commissioners. The Community and Recreation Services report for September is in your packet at page 14. Just wanting to share a couple items from the report and add on to a couple of things. On September 10th, we held the kids triathlon as we discussed at the last meeting. We had 99 kids come out and participate in that. That was more than double what we had last year, the initial year. So the race group that put that on, along with the city, did a fantastic job. We're really excited with the turnout and appreciated the volunteers that came out, including Chairman Taddy. So thank you for that, and we look forward to doing that again for years to come. Aquatics, as you know, the pool is closed to the public, but we do have a couple of things going on this last month. Odyssey Swim Team is still holding their practices at the rec center through the first week in November, and that's going well. Navy Sea cadets were out on September 17th to use the pool for their annual training for some of their cadets. And Troop 99 was actually in the other day to do some swim training for a few of their adults and scouts who are planning to go kayaking in the Colorado River. So we're happy to be able to accommodate some of these groups, even though the pool is closed technically for the season. So that's been nice. In terms of community services, the flag raising for the Air Force was held on September 16th, and that was very well attended. And this morning we held the ceremony for the Navy for their 247th, I believe it was, birthday today. So that it's nice to be able to share that with the community and honor our branches of the military that way. So I would encourage you, if you guys haven't been out lately, come on out to some of these. It's really nice, and the veterans that do show up really appreciate the community support for those. Preschool has been on fall break this week, but they have been actively working on their numbers 1 through 10 and starting to learn their letters. So it's fun to see the kids progressing. And our preschool staff has been doing a really great job of working with community organizations to come in and meet the preschoolers and get them comfortable with those that serve the community, such as police, fire, the librarians. So it's really fun that our teachers are making those connections for our preschoolers and giving them positive reinforcement about those people in the community that are serving us. In terms of sports, fall sports are not quite midway through the season, but they're going strong. And winter sports are already up and taking registrations. In the winter, we only do basketball. We've got not quite 100 kids already registered, and we just opened registrations last week. So that's going strong, pleased with that. And special events, we held Oktoberfest with the Wigwam on October 1st. Thank you. There were many of you on the commission that came out, helped out, volunteered at our entry gates, participated in the event, and it was nice to see you guys have your help there as well. It was great having you out. There were about 600 people total that came out to the event, and we are still working through the process of getting feedback from those who attended, from staff, from the wigwam. So we always like to learn what people liked and didn't about the events and move forward in planning for the future years. So if you have any feedback, feel free to see me and share that. We take all criticism as constructive too, so don't worry about hurting anybody's feelings. Upcoming events, there are a few on the horizon. Avondale Firefighter Charities is doing a Cruise and Brews charity event with TCBC on October 22nd. That'll be in the parking lot at Honeysuckle, so you'll see that coming up next weekend. You guys now know what it is if you see a lot of people out there, a big cornhole tournament for charity. I'm not sure if they're still taking registrations, but they are looking forward to a fun event. We've got our Fall Fest coming up, lots of fall and Halloween events at the school and around town, so there'll be a lot of activity over the next few months as the weather starts to really feel good to us out here. And that's all I have in terms of community rec services, unless any of the commissioners have questions.
You have a new one coming up.
Oh, I apologize. We are Touch a Truck, yes, Saturday, November 19th. We do have flyers here for you guys to take if you'd like. Our special events team is working with our community liaison, Sunny, to coordinate with police, fire, waste management, our public works department. Phoenix Raceway is going to bring out a race car. That'll be in the south parking lot of the Whitfield Elementary School. So families can come out, little ones and adults can come take a look at all the trucks and machines that'll be out there, meet with some of those service providers and organizations that have their vehicles out, and just have a good time that morning from 9 to noon. For those that know anyone that have children that are sensitive to noise, commotion, the first hour from 9 to 10 is actually going to be sensory sensitive. So the trucks won't be beeping their horns, the sirens won't be going off. So if you know anyone that might have shied away because their children are sensitive to that, please let them know. Come that first hour, and hopefully it will not be a problem for them. Trying to be a little more conscious of kids with those needs as well. The rest of the time, lots of sirens and horns, hopefully going to excite the kids.
Right at 10 o'clock.
But we'll have good info for the adults as well on Block Watch and community services. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us if you're not across the way doing cornhole that day.
Right.
You can hop back and forth. But it should be a fun afternoon that day. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Thank you again. Commissioners report on current events. Vice Chair Phillips?
Nothing.
Nothing. Commissioner Colbreth?
I'd just like to say good job to Public Works. I know we saw those storm pictures, and I noticed I was out that night and there were some branches down Turtle Park and some of the signs blew down and stuff, and then by the next morning when I went out, they were already cleaned up and picked up, and so it seems like they were on top of cleaning up after the storms. Good job, Public Works.
Commissioner Faith?
No announcements. Thank you.
Commissioner Gertz?
I'll echo what Commissioner Colbert said in terms of Public Works cleanup. I'm looking forward to the cooler weather and seeing all that ride come in and people out on it, so good.
Right on. So I was lucky enough to volunteer at a couple of the events in this last month, and I just want to compliment the city, specifically the recreation department, because the diversity of the events that they put on, I'm sure it's a heck of a challenge, but all of them are top notch. And as I was leaving the triathlon, the guy who was filming from the drone stopped me and asked me a few questions, and I thought, oh, that's all, the city, they put it all together, and he was extremely impressed. Is he the new tech guy that you guys were referring to earlier?
He is actually affiliated or was contracted by the
By the
race
people
planners.
who, okay.
Yeah, to
So-
come out.
Also very complimentary, he was. And guys, if you didn't know that you were in the presence of greatness before,
That's right.
is your first name really Walter?
Yes, yes it is.
Probably a detail that we shouldn't just glaze over there. But
The mayor did.
Sonny was named to the Aquafria inaugural Hall of Fame. So, just a few of his career highlights. Litchfield Park resident for over 40 years, 24 years coaching at Millennium and Aquafria. 24 years, holy cow. Serves on over 20 boards, commissions, organizations, maybe more. Served the city of Litchfield Park for 34 years. So couldn't think of it happening to a more deserving person. Congratulations, Joe. Do you guys all have this? Am I the only one? No? Okay, I'll pass this around then. That's where I got the Walter from. But other than that, you guys aren't going to believe this. We have only one thing left, and that's adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?